Hey, this is Connor, or you could call me by my alias Hello Burp, and this is my second episode for my dev diaries on Orchard Tycoon. So one of the main things I've been focused on was making overworld obstacles. You know, things utilizing trampolines, vertical height, etc. I talked about that a little bit in my last episode, but not too much, and we will get into that in a moment. But for now, I want to talk about the overworld as a whole. One of the main areas, as you can see, is based on this tree. Now, this tree isn't going to be part of the game when it first comes out, but it will be released as an update. For now, we need to focus on more important stuff like, you know, finishing the rest of the normal obstacles. So for now, I've blocked it off with, I guess, what I call, I don't know if it really needs a name, but it's just an update gate. It's probably going to be an NPC in the game called the Update Police, just standing guard there, making sure nobody gets into the top secret stuff that I'm literally showing you right now, including this breakable block. So this breakable block is just a little, I guess you could call it a puzzle element that I have been working on just randomly. I thought it'd be a cool idea to include them. Although I don't... Okay, I don't know what my computer's doing, but anyways, so I don't think they're going to be used in the final release as of now, but they might be included in some updates. I just really haven't found a place to use them. So anyways, I guess I could show you that real quick. Alright, so here we are in the game world. It's not fully loaded yet, but once it is, you'll be able to see that I am on top of this cliff. So here's the breakable block down here, and one of the fundamental things about them is that they only break when you jump on them or have some kind of velocity that breaks their threshold. So this one has a threshold of -75, which means that if my, I don't know, I think it's torso, I'm not too sure, it might be humanoid root part, but if my torso, let's say, hits the threshold of -75 units per second downwards, then it'll break. So I've measured it out, this cliff will be enough, so let's see what it does. Boom. Now, I was originally going to have it break into a bunch of little pieces that were going to be unions and then just kind of fall apart and look really cool along with the explosion, but I wasn't able to get that to work. I don't know, it was some weird can't collide bug, I don't know, but anyways, an explosion will do. It still looks really nice. So anyways, now that we're here, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about some changes done to the thrust trampoline, which I did a little bit of a show off in the last video. So originally the thrust trampolines would send you in the direction of your torso immediately when you pressed it, but now they were slightly changed. So now instead of doing that just on a whim when you touch it, puts you in a little trance here, and it lets you choose where to go. So it just kind of locks you in place. Your Robloxian's probably screaming for help because this is not normal. So to release your poor Robloxian from this weird floating state, you have to press the spacebar and it will fly you in the direction of where you aim. So I think that'll help people not get frustrated with these things, since I did do some play testing and a lot of people were thinking that these were relatively unfun and just kind of inconsistent and silly. And this will especially help for mobile users who we aren't particularly focusing on, but they don't have shift lock. Even if they do have a really good, you know, mobile device which will actually be able to run this, they're not going to have shift lock unless they have one of those fancy keyboards that hooks up to your tablet or whatever. So just keeping it like this is really going to help out some players. especially since a lot of them are going to be younger. So I guess I could show off a little bit of the obstacles that I've utilized this new thrust trampoline in. As I said, the obstacles were my main focus. Now, a lot of these obstacles were actually made before I did the change to these, so sometimes they aren't specifically, I don't know, tailored to them. Because originally, with the original thrust trampolines, you were able to get a slightly longer shot if you were to jump right on the outer rim. That wasn't a good example, but if you were to jump right there, it would launch you the furthest you could possibly go, since it would immediately apply the velocity instead of you having to wait until you get centered here. Now you can still kind of do that, but it's not as effective at all. So right over here, once we get a peek over this edge, you'll see the new partially redesigned button. The model itself hasn't changed, it's only the color. Now the reason I did this was because red was kind of menacing, I guess you could say, and some playtesters didn't want to touch any buttons because they thought they would kill them, which is perfectly reasonable. So let's just step on it, see what happens. You know, turns into a thrust trampoline. Anyways, enough with this place. I want to show you another studio project in which I have been designing stuff for this game. It's not too big, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. So this is a game where I've been testing a new obstacle, which may or may not be in the game. I think I'm probably going to wait for another update to implement this, because we simply already have so much to focus on. But I am going to give you an example either way. So this is a sticky little substance that is on walls, and as you can see, my Robloxian is pretty much just stuck to it, kind of floating. So let's try jumping. Okay, well that wasn't too successful, but we did kind of bounce off there. So let's actually try that again. This time let's put some, I don't know, some oomph into it. See if we can attach to this wall. Whoa, there we go. Already I think you're starting to see what this is going to be useful for. Gonna be able to wall jump between this. And yeah, I think this will have some great synergy with some of the other obstacles in the games, like the trampolines, for example. You know, you might be able to wall jump onto here, get onto one of these, and then, I don't know, do a backflip onto a trampoline or something like that. I think it'll be pretty neat if we do end up adding this to the game. So that's all I have to show off for this dev diary. If you want to see any more updates on Orchard Tycoon, then feel free to subscribe, I don't know, like, so other people can see this. You know, generic stuff that YouTubers say if they want to get more attention. Anyways, in the comments below, I want you to tell me what you think of all these new developments, particularly with this interesting new mechanic, and just general ideas for the game, because I'd love to hear them. I'm gonna go edit this now and then publish it.